Can we get council members up to the front to start the meeting, please?
Uh-oh.
He told me to.
I didn't. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry, ma'am. I'll do better.
Okay. Yeah, we're just past the time. Sorry, guys. Can everyone hear me? My mic's working? Okay. I would like to call this meeting to order. It is 6:32 p.m. I would like to do roll call. Ward 1. Ward 2.
Here.
Ward 3.
Here.
Ward 4. Here. Is Mayor on?
I'm here.
Okay. Mayor is on Zoom tonight. We would like to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I will lead the.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to go to citizens to be heard. At this time, comments limited to 3 minutes will be taken from the audience from persons who have signed the speaker's card located on the table in the back of the training room of the Service Center and delivered to the city secretary before the meeting begins, or written comments received by 4 p.m. on the day of the meeting on any subject matter that is not on the agenda will be read and summarized in the minutes of the meeting. Persons wishing to address the council and who have registered using the citizen participation form will have up to 3 minutes to speak. In accordance with the Open Meetings Act, council may not discuss or take action on any item that has not been posted on the agenda. While civil public criticism is not prohibited, disorderly conduct or disturbance of the peace as prohibited by law shall be caused for the chair to terminate the offender's time to speak. Do we have any citizens to be heard? Okay. So we're going to move on to the consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will remove from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Would any of the council members like to take any of these items off of the consent agenda to put onto the regular agenda tonight?
Pull item number 9.
Okay. Council member Burnside would like to pull item number 9 for deliberation to regular agenda.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda item plus item number 9.
We are making a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda except for agenda item number 9. We have a first and a second, and then we have Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4. Aye. Mayor.
Aye.
Okay. So that goes to the top, right? Okay. So we're going to move on to our regular agenda. And we had, yes, and we're going to go to number 9. So deliberate and act to confirm mayoral appointments of city council liaisons to various boards, committees, and commissions. Burnside, so you pulled the item off. We'd like you to start with that discussion.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that everybody's okay with the workload and what they've got, and if there's any need of horse trading before we pass it.
Are council members okay with their current ones?
If I may, I would like to point out that at the time I was looking at these, I was coming down with COVID and figured I might miss this meeting. I tried to round out the appointments as best I could, try to see if nobody was overloaded or people got into good positions. But I understand that you might have some things that you would really like to be involved in that I could have missed. So changing those is totally all right with me.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. Since it doesn't seem like anyone does have an issue, it's good to have the conversation. Can I get a motion to approve number 9?
Motion to approve agenda item number 9 is presented.
Second.
Okay, we have Councilmember Jackson as making the motion, and then Burnside as second. Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2.
Aye.
Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4. Aye. Mayor.
Aye.
All in favor. Thank you.
Thank you.
We are moving on to our regular agenda, item number 13. Deliberate and act on a second and final reading of the ordinance amending Chapter 50, Division 4, Flood Hazard Reduction of the Code of Ordinances, City of Rockport, Texas, in order to be compliant with the community rating system requirements, repealing all ordinances to the extent they are a conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. And this one goes to Carrie. And just for reference, is there any changes? Okay. Is there anything you'd like to, any council members like to make a motion?
Agenda item 13 is read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Jackson, and then we have a second from Councilmember Redrett. Any discussion? Okay, Councilmember Jackson, Ward 1.
Aye.
Ward 2? Aye. Ward 3?
Aye.
Ward 4, aye. Mayor?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor. Motion passes. Number 14, hear and deliberate on proposed amendment to Chapter 106 of the City of Rockport Code of Ordinances to update the current tree and landscape ordinances. Again, this, I believe, goes to Carrie. I did have a question on the greenscape section.
Revisions, but I think we got it.
You did a great job on it.
Thank you.
I think I just have one question on the green space one to have, it just had stated the trees on there, but I think we have to have a motion and then second and discussion on that.
I'm sorry.
Is there a reason why we didn't add green space onto the,
The green space is in the required landscaping, not in the trees. This is specific to trees and trees planting.
so you cannot, according to our law, we cannot add green space land into that section.
You can add that anywhere you want. I mean,
Okay, so let me get here. I think we have to have a motion, right? We have to have a motion, and then second, and then discussion.
this is just discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on, so what I'm referring to is on 106-7, it's the greenscape preservation account. It does state that we can save funds into buying trees for our community, but
Right.
it does not say, I would like it to say green space land to buy land as well, because we can only have so much land to plant these trees on, as preservation, even for drainage, and just have green space in our
Correct.
community. Is there a reason why that is not added? We cannot add that onto that section?
Not that I'm aware of. I'd asked that question months ago, and honestly, I believe the answer was negative, but I can't recall if it came from Mr. Santee or someone else. But I don't know why you couldn't.
Do we have that currently in our parkland dedication for
To
development?
purchase property to preserve?
The developer comes in and they, instead of doing the park, they purchase credits.
Development standards, there is a section for parkland dedication or green space dedication. We're very careful with parkland dedication. You know, the city can't take every park that is dedicated by a new subdivision, take it on and take on the responsibility to maintain it and such. So when the subdivisions come along, they can designate a green space area similar to what they did over in Wandering Oaks. They had the large tree and they designated that as a green space area. And the homeowners association maintains the area around that large tree, and they have a walking trail and things like that. We did enter into an agreement with them to occasionally have an arborist go out and take a look at that tree and tell us what needs to be done to maintain that tree and everything else. But the city does not accept the responsibility for the maintenance of the green space. In certain cases, if they build a park and they want to dedicate that to the city, that could be negotiated during the development phase.
So I just want to clarify your question. Are you asking that we add some language in here that says the funds may be used to purchase green space?
Well, not, maybe, now that I just heard your answer there, maybe not just only purchase green space, but maybe also we can use those funds to maintain any kind of green space that we'd have for too.
Maintain.
Maybe both. Just more broad language that we can use it to
Than just
preserve our
planting
trees
trees, right.
in our community.
I don't know why you couldn't add that. but we do have Allison on the phone, our city attorney, and ask her. Allison, do you understand the question? Make sure she's still on. Allison? He couldn't hear. Now we just need somebody to go through. Allison?
Having a really good speech right now.
Probably is.
So, ma'am, can I ask for clarification on your question? Are you suggesting the ability to purchase additional lands?
I just want to have it more broad open if we want to push it land, because we have to have green space, maybe even for drainage, or if we want to plant trees other way, because there's only a certain amount of land we're going to have to plant trees.
Maybe
And we
we
have
could-
this fund, but after speaking, Mike, just after you speaking as well, maybe even open it up to even having ability to spend it on maintaining or maintenance as well on our trees.
How I read it, it's obtaining the trees, including other landscaping, sprinklers, items and materials necessary for the proper preservation, et cetera, et cetera. So it doesn't sound like it's just trees, it's anything.
I guess, yeah, I see the maintenance now. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, tree, so that could be water, other water features.
But it doesn't say we can use it to,
To actually
No, it
purchase
just
the
say for
land,
acquisition
right?
of additional public lands.
Can everyone hear me now?
Okay, yes.
I am so sorry about that. So, I mean, this isn't an action item, and I wasn't privy to any of the past conversations, whether they were with Dan Santee or not, but it would seem to me that we've got time to go back and see what or how this can be broadened, if that is the will of the commission.
I didn't understand what she said.
So Allison, I understand the question.
Yes.
The question is, may the city add language to section 106-7 that allows the city to spend these funds for green space maintenance
It does say that.
and/or purchase, acquisition?
Okay. I think I didn't quite catch your question.
Okay. Again, the question is, can we add language to that section 106-7 that allows the city to use those funds to purchase or acquire green space?
Honestly, without looking at the backstory a little bit more, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about answering that. I can certainly look into it though and follow up with you all. Like I said, we don't have action on this today, so I can take a look at the backstory and answer that a little more thoroughly. Right now, I'm not really sure what there might be that would prevent you from doing it, if anything.
Okay, that's fine, Allison. If you'll just research that, you're right. This is not an action item. It's discussion only tonight in preparation for bringing the ordinance forward at the next meeting. So we can talk.
Sure. Absolutely. I'll be happy to.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that had any questions on that? That was my only question on.
Okay, so when we get that answer, if it's yes that we can do that, would you like that I add language that includes the maintenance and/or acquisition
It
of
does say
green
maintenance.
space?
I
think
misquoted on
maintenance
that.
is really already in here because it's talking
It
about
is
the
in
tree
there.
ecosystems. Okay,
Shouldn't even mention that. Thank you, Danielle, for catching that.
No, it's okay. And I think answering the question about acquisition is a valid question. I mean, whether we want to pursue it or not, it's good to know. Carrie, the only thing that I would suggest, and it's just more cosmetic, is a small table on the new definitions between century protected. I had to keep going back and I kind of scribbled my own notes in the corner of what the definitions were. So as I was reading through it,
Okay,
it's minor, but if it referenced a table for the size definitions, I think that would be helpful.
okay. And I can reference the table in the definitions as per table.
Absolutely.
I can do that.
absolutely. And I probably wouldn't have even suggested it if there wasn't other tables, right? You have drawings and tables. There's a lot
Right.
of really good meat in this. I think it's really good work. That's just,
I had a lot of help, so it wasn't just me. Okay, I can do that.
This is just a discussion, so,
Am I truly seeing in here no palm trees? I'm not seeing reference to palm trees.
it should not be in there.
That would make me too happy.
No palm,
I did not see palm trees in
palm
there.
trees are not shade trees, no.
No.
I had to ask, because when I read through this, I'm like, I don't see palm trees.
Yeah, I mean, they're not prohibited, but they don't count as a replacement tree.
Yeah, the replacement tree was the biggest issue, I think.
Yeah.
Not replacing a palm with a live oak kind of issue there. Anything else from council today? Okay. Yeah, you guys did a great job. And
Thank you.
Really good.
yes, and thank you for taking the time. And I know it's been a long road, but we're getting there. So thank you
Yes.
for all your patience.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So,
Need to thank the tree committee. as
Mayor,
well.
did you have anything
Yes.
else to say?
No, I don't. I was interested in the problem she was having with being heard. I think I had the same kind of thing earlier today. But I'm glad that you could get through.
Yeah, that's weird. I've not had this happen before. So apologies for the technical difficulties here.
Yeah, we're having technical difficulties.
I just want to make sure we
Just
thank
a
the tree
quick-
committee. They've
Yeah,
done
the
a
tree
lot of work.
committee. Yes. Thank you, tree committee.
To us, because there were a lot of people that felt like that our tree ordinance didn't have enough teeth in it to aggressively pursue developers that came in and took out trees that they weren't supposed to, or came in on a weekend and clear cut property and everything. So we worked with the tree committee and our legal staff and our planning consultant to bring this ordinance forward to ensure that we can take better care of our community as we move forward in the area of preserving trees.
Thank you. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you. Oh, I'm stuck to something.
Okay, moving on to number 15 on the regular agenda. Deliberate and act to reappoint and appoint members to various City of Rockport boards, committees, and commissions.
If I could, I would like to point out the same thing here that I did earlier on the consent agenda item. I went through the applications for different positions and tried to spread out enough people from various wards who wanted to be assigned into some of these commissions and boards. And I take it for granted that some of y'all know these people, some of them better than I do. And if you have a particular person that is particularly interested and would like to be involved, I have no problem changing those, but I tried to balance them out as best as could be. And y'all are welcome to make changes if you feel like you need to.
Mayor Pro Tem, I want to note a correction. This one I was. Adjustment and Building and Standards Commission. I have Matthew Grimes typed in red as a reappointment, and if that is incorrect, that would be a new appointment. You said Matthew Grimes, Teresa? Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
I move to reappoint and appoint members to various City of Rockport boards, committees, and commissions.
Do I have a second? Can you put them on the screen, please? Is there any discussion on this matter?
Get your second. You got a second?
I got a second. I think you seconded.
No, I made a motion. I think.
And Katie
Katie
seconded.
Just while I was bringing that up, thank you, Teresa, for making the adjustments with the new ward boundaries. There were a couple minor tweaks, but I think it's not necessarily to the, you know, in the negative when you look at, you know, Ward 1 and Ward 2 were historically underrepresented in some of these commissions. We still got some work to do there, but I think we're getting closer.
We are, yes. Okay, well, we have a motion, we have a second. Do you want to? Yes, yes, please, do. Yes. Yeah, can you go up closer?
Parks and Leisure Services Advisory Board, appointment is Maria Fee and Lindsay Merrill. Reappoint is Karen Rester. For the Planning and Zoning Commission, appoint Patricia A. Impens. Reappoint Rick Young and Ruth Davis. For the Tree and Landscape Committee, reappoint Warren Hassinger, Linda Frank, and Karen Rester. For the Zoning Board of Adjustment and Building and Standards Commission, appoint Richard Smith. He was moved from an alternate to place 4. Brandy Picton appointed as alternate, and Matthew Grimes appointed as alternate. Reappoint Pamela Dixon Frost and Janetta Davis.
Thank you, Teresa. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Ward 1. Oh, you don't want to keep talking? Nope, she has a question. Yep, go ahead.
I've heard that we're supposed to be having a Building Standards Commission meeting sometime in the near future. Has that date been set yet? Thank you. How hard was it to set that date? Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Anything else? Okay, Ward 1. Ward 2. Aye. Ward 3.
Aye.
Ward 4. Aye. Mayor?
Aye.
Okay. Number 16 on the regular agenda, it's going to be reports from council. Katie, would you like to go first, Ms. Jackson?
4th of July was a great success. Let's see, what else did we have? We had, the Art Fest was wildly successful. I was just talking to Luis a little bit ago, and he said that they made a lot more money at the gate this year. No final numbers yet. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting. Second Saturday is behind us, yes. So I've heard that went well, and everything's happy in Ward 1.
We had budget workshop this afternoon, you know, again, thanks to Katie and staff for all their hard work putting that together. It was a good discussion this afternoon. That's really all I got.
Piggyback on to what Councilwoman Jackson said, another successful 4th of July in Rockport. It was a very busy one I could tell in town. And I guess, yeah, we no big issues, no big problems. So that's good. And I did get to go to the art festival on Thursday night, Friday night, whatever the patron party was, and the auction, the live auction was great. I do believe they made a good chunk of money out there, and it was very well attended. Anyway, I'd like to thank staff for working on the budget with us today. That was very painless, very, very painless. And also I'd like to thank Ranges County and our Public Works Department for getting some road-based material on some of our roads, getting that project started, where our drainage projects were. So it almost looks like a road again. So thank y'all. That's all I have.
I don't have much going on in my ward right now. Just thank you again for the budget presentation today. It was great, and it was insightful, and it was very painless. On top of that, I want to thank you to the police department for your hard work this weekend with July 4th, especially with the fireworks. You guys received many, many kudos from the community and how well you directed traffic and got people out of there safely. And so we want to say thank you for that. On top of that, I don't think I have anything else. So we're going to give it off to the mayor.
I want to second what she said about the police department, the work after the fireworks. I've been around for a bunch of those things, and I never heard as many nice things said in 30 years as you got for that one time, and I appreciate it. You guys worked really hard and did a great job. One other thing, I have had occasion today to visit with several people from out in the country club area who are still concerned about drainage problems and like that. I assured them that Mr. Donahoe, Mr. Morton were still working on that, and we will be getting into taking care of that drainage situation for them, and they were glad to hear it, and I wanted to say it out loud for the record tonight. I appreciate those good folks and understand their problem. I have nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you. Rockport City Council will hold an executive session pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, in accordance with the authority contained in number 17, section 551071, consultations with attorney seeking the advice of attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or settlement offer, and on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter. Number 1, Burnside Services Incorporated, and number 2, Concho Street Drainage Project. We are now in executive session at 6:57.
Mayor Pro Tem, I was just going to say,
Oh.
I don't think we have a need to go into executive session today.
okay.
You've had a long day, and I'd like
Okay.
to thank you guys for your work.
So I have to open us back up now.
Yeah.
Okay. I take us out of executive session at 6:57. I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.